Whiteboard's clean, the sun is high. The term is short, the weeks fly by. One crop packs up, their work is done. Another's here, and so it's begun.
Oh, hello everybody. For those of you who don't know me and haven't had me before, my name is Professor Simon Galton. I'll be taking over delivery of our course as of today, July the 1st. Of course, our class isn't for a little while yet, but I did think I wanted to sort of reintroduce myself so that you know who you are expecting to see in class in our next time together. So for those of you who have had me before, you know my style, and perhaps even you've seen some of my videos if you haven't had me. So you know, that's me. Wow. I've been away for a few weeks, and when I left, these things had not grown anywhere near like this. This is going to be quite an adventure over the next little while to tame. For those of you who have had me before, perhaps I have shared that I'm a hobby winemaker, and these are my grapevines. Anyway, I have had a chance to interact with your professors from the first half, so I know how things are going and where we're at, and we're going to pick up right where they left off. And it should be no problem for us to keep on keeping on. I believe we're in the same room at the same time, not a guarantee during the summer. And so I expect to see you all in class next week, where we can get to know each other and get moving on the material at that time. All right. Pretty healthy. I've been looking to see where Professor Wayne Collins has left you with the material, and of course acknowledging that this particular week is a bit odd because one of the classes that is being delivered, of course, is losing the day today on July the 1st. And so to be fair with everybody, I have moved the assignment submission date you know, to the same day as the midterm, which I asked Wayne to move last night, so that both classes are getting the same deadlines, and it's fair to everybody. It also gives us a chance for us to get to know each other and for you to ask any last-minute questions well in advance of the test, and it gives us a chance to also to at least for the class that's missing things on Tuesday, to get caught up with the nature of the assignment and to get working on it with me in the room, instead of having to do it all by yourself, which is fine, but sometimes we need a little help because Unix is freaky weird. For those of you who've had me before, you know I like saying this, that Unix is weird, but Unix is also really powerful, really useful. But I can absolutely understand you being in a position right now where you're looking at this course and looking at Unix and Linux and saying, why do people do this? I mean, Windows is so much easier. You just click on pictures of things go. You fill in some dialog boxes, whatever, you're good to go. And all that is true, you know, from that perspective. But I'm going to tell you something, that when people are deploying large infrastructure, when people are trying to get a lot of work done, they're not choosing to deploy a big batch of Windows servers at this point in the game. Unix is really where it's at for large-scale deployments. For managing large infrastructure situations, Windows can be a little bit frustrating. We have to buy and employ tools to do things that just Linux, I don't know, sort of comes with the OS, so to speak, right? In the first half of our course, I fully admit it hasn't been exciting, right? You're learning how to log in, learning how to read man pages, learning how the file system, you know, is laid out and works, learning how to copy and move files around, delete stuff, learning about file system permissions, which is a bit freaky weird, but actually a very important computer science concept that you'll use in any operating system. Obviously, we were looking at it through the Unix lens, but the idea is port. And all of that stuff, maybe it's not that exciting. I kind of find it cool, but maybe you don't. However, I do have to say that if I'm going to do one half of the course, this is the half of the course that I'm going to enjoy teaching the most, because I think it's the most valuable to you. I think this is the part of the course where it starts to dawn on people why people Unix, why people do this when they could be using Windows and the abstracted view of the system that gives you. It's at this point in the course, right after the midterm, that I think things get, I'm going to call it exciting. Your mileage may vary, but this is where we learn the cool parts about Unix. Things like I/O redirection, pipelines, regular expressions, all the stuff that we can actually use to create a real custom environment for ourselves, to create custom commands, to do useful things very, very quickly. And we're going to explore that in our labs right away. Now, you'll have noticed in the scripting assignment, which was due, I think, next week, but because I've moved the midterm out and I'm equalizing that for both classes, is now going to be due the following week. Okay, that gives everybody a chance to work on it with me. The first part of the scripting assignment, I mean, I admit, not very difficult. You're writing a couple of very short scripts, one much shorter than the other. But that's really to get your feet wet, to learn about the scripting environment. Now, scripting is really one of the things that makes Unix and Linux so powerful. A good scripting environment is so key to running a proper operating system that Microsoft a few years back started to notice that people were really bemoaning the loss of this in Windows, and they created PowerShells a few years back, of course. But they've been improving it, and it's a very good scripting environment at this point. In fact, so good that there was demand for it to be ported over to Linux, and Microsoft went ahead and did that. So you can actually run PowerShell right on Linux and manage Windows systems from it and vice versa. And that is actually pretty interesting because of the innate scriptability of Linux. It's a very great platform for managing large environments. The second half of the scripting assignment is a little different looking if you've looked at, further into that assignment document. Those scripts are a little bit more complex and complicated. They are going to challenge you a bit. We'll have a conversation about how you'll approach those as we go forward a little bit. But I do want you to be very much aware that the second part of scripting assignment is a bit more challenging. So if you're struggling with the first half, please have a conversation with me when we get together in our next class so that we can get things cleared up, so that you have a great chance to work on the second half of the scripting assignment with confidence. And you're going to need some of the knowledge we're going to be picking up in our upcoming modules to do that well. So don't think you have to start working on it right after the midterm. We can get into it from there. Okay? I'm really looking forward to seeing you in class, about as much as I'm looking forward to, yes, I got some black raspberries that the birds have missed while I was away. Yum. Anyway, lovely. I'm looking forward to eating black raspberries and meeting up with you in class when we get together next week. Have a great Canada Day. I am looking forward to the rest of the semester with you, and for now, it looks like I'm going to have to go nuts with my pruners and get this a little bit cleaned up so that the garden doesn't outpace me while we're working on Unix. See you then.
Some say it's strange or mid-course flip, but now it sails on every ship. With every hand that guides the way, we find the stars by light of day. Passing the chalk, passing the flame. Different faces, but still the same aim. To teach, to guide, to help us grow in something's brief and golden glow.